Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new issue of Mortal Realms magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys, it goes a massive way to help the channel too. And without further ado, let's crack on with it. So this week, of course, we're on issue 77 of Mortal Realms magazine, leaving us with only 3 weeks left after today of the magazine, which is a shame. It's, pretty much over. However, Imperial magazine will be starting soon, and I do actually suspect there will be another Age of Sigmar magazine at some point in the future. Whether it will be literally for bang on when Imperium finishes or something along those lines. But, it will be good to see. It'll be good fun. So, what we're getting today. So, of course, we've got the third part to the Mortis Engine. So, if you haven't already, it's now time to start building, start prepping, and start getting everything ready. And, of course, this magazine is going to go through painting it up. We'll get the base next week, with also the base for the Celestant Prime. But if you wanted to, you can kind of start getting everything ready. Get it all in sub-assemblies, and then, by all means, spray paint it if the weather is good enough where you are. You need around about 20 degrees Celsius weather for a decent spray, and for it obviously to not be raining. And yeah, you'll be able to get a really, really good coverage. Spray it how you want it, paint it how you want it. Entirely up to you. I mean, the standard guide for kind of Nighthaunt, spray it white. Or if you wish to, spray it with Wraithbone, and then you can get a very, very different look out of the model as well if you wanted to. So, different little ways of doing everything, but good stuff. So, into the issue itself, we're greeted by pages of death. So, death engines. If all that necromancers could accomplish was raising the dead, they would be terrifying enough. However, the dark arts of death allow not just for resurrection and destruction, but also for the creation of new and horrific constructs. When venturing through the realm of death, you will be met by all manner of morbid constructions. Vast creatures made of bone stride in the plains, cast in deathly splendour by their makers. So, with the whole necromantic abilities that kind of appear in the realm of Shyish, there are, of course, many different constructs and things that have been made using bones and using spirit hosts and everything like that as well, and kind of creation of these forces of death, like, for instance, the Arceat Bone Reapers, Terrorgeists, and all that type of stuff. And they have a massive kind of a roaming ability around everywhere. So, of course, there we are, the Arceat Bone creations. So the Arceat Bone Reapers do create twisted mirrors of mortal folk, just as we work to shape the mortal realms into a place that can sustain life. These creatures work to turn them into lands of death. The Arceat create a vast range of constructs. Nothing in their land is alive, as everything is created from dead bodies. It is said that even the birds that circle their towering citadels are necromantic constructs. So, for instance, if you haven't read it, the End of Enlightenment is the most recent Lumineth Realm Lords novel, and this deals with the Arceat Bone Reapers quite heavily as well. So the Arceat Bone Reapers do utilise a lot of bones, and they have these Gothizar harvesters who are hawking brutes that kind of look like mindless monsters, but they move with a purpose. So when somebody is slain, or a body is slain, what they tend to do is go around the battlefield and gather the bones, and then the bones can be reshaped and everything like that. With these harvesters, what they can do is actually strip the flesh entirely off the bones, so there is raw material ready to use. Also, with the necromantic creations, of course, we have other things as well. So we have corpse carts, we have zombie dead walkers, of course, and of course we have the Mortis Engines. So, which are kind of created by, are created by necromancers. So they can use these kind of powerful thrones, of which they hunt the living, which is pretty cool, and really, really good stuff to see as well. Then we have one of the warriors, which unfortunately we didn't get with the magazine. It would have been nice if we did, which is Gavriel Sureheart. So Gavriel is a legend among the Stormcast Eternals, as his thirst for vengeance upon the forces of chaos can never be quenched. As a Lord Celestant, he fights at the head of the storm hosts of the Hammers of Sigmar, where he sets a glorious example for those he leads into battle. So, of course, Gavriel is one of the good old Lord Celestants, not Celestant Prime, but he is also very, very high. But he is very high ranking, and he is a legend as well. So he is one of the legendary created characters, which is pretty cool. And he has campaigned through a lot of areas and a lot of places, which is really, really good stuff. Then we've got some more stuff about the Lord of the Storm, and of course, from the fact that we're raised in blood and fighting for freedom against the forces of chaos. And he is literally a kind of soul creation to go up against the forces of chaos as well. Your how to paint section, really, really easy. Paint it how you want to do it. Personally, I would spray paint the entire lot. So spray it white if you want to paint it white. If you want to do the throne a different colour, spray it grey. So like a light grey, and then you can use things like Agrax Earthshade or Norn oil over the top of it, and you can have a lot of really good bits and pieces as well. So they do actually recommend that you use some sticky tack, or blue tack as it is commonly known, to set certain areas ready for your kind of sub-assemblies and everything like that. Entirely up to you how you want to do it. I know a lot of people will just bung it all together and paint it up, but it's entirely up to you guys. Then you got the painting guide as well for the reliquary. Entirely up to you how you want to paint it. It is generally your decision with all of this, but with pretty cool stuff. And then of course your Necromancer as well, or the Corpse Master, he's easy as he can be known. And this is a guy who is going to be kind of in charge of roaming around on that Mortis Engine. Have a bit of fun with it. Play around with the different colours. So if you have colours like Pallid Witch Flesh and stuff like that, you can make a really, really cool kind of corpsey looking character. And you can make it kind of very shaded. You don't need to just use the Rathgar Flesh or Corax White or anything like that. You can have a bit of fun with this guy. Paint him up how you want to paint him. Personally, grey hair looks pretty cool on Necromancers, and kind of looks a bit more fitting. So, yeah, enjoy yourself. Then you got all your main body of everything as well. So, as I say, if you painted it grey, it will look far, far better. So you paint it up with grey, and then you do all your side bits with things like Rathgar Flesh or anything like that. Or even if you wanted to do it with painting it up in all grey, you could do that if you wanted to. So you can have a bit of fun with it. Entirely up to you how you want to paint it. I personally do want to see your paintings though of this unit. Which, if you want to do it and you do want to share them, join my Discord server. You know, there's no obligations to join if you don't want to though. But join it. You can upload photos. You can ask for tips and tricks and advice and everything like that. I don't mention it very often, but you can join it by all means. The link will be in the top comment, and it is in the description as well down below. So you can join, have a bit of fun, and yeah, get some chatting and share your photos of your units, because I would like to see them. I've loved seeing more photos and more painting and everything like that as well. Right, with all the other bits and pieces, there is the textbook that goes at the front of the Mortis Engine, and it does have it. They actually suggest a very, very good idea. Sketch out your ideas. So literally get a bit of paper and paint. So you can kind of get a idea of how you're going to paint that book out and everything like that. Because you're going to want to make it look pretty cool, and you're going to make it look pretty unique. And then you can kind of get an idea of what you want to do with it. So have a bit of fun with it as well. But I want to see some really, really good stuff. The way that they've painted up the pages works very, very well. It's a very, very good idea for doing, especially for quite a dark looking book that it's meant to look like a heavy dark tome, which is really good stuff. And then you're pretty much all finished once you got it all painted. You place it on top of your other bits and pieces and super glue it, and yeah, away you go. Happy days. You can't beat it. It's really, really good stuff. It's pretty cool, and it's a cool looking unit as well. Then we've got on to our battle plan. So of course we're in the realm of Akshi, and this is for first strike. So of course you've got your Stormcast forces, you've got your Nighthaunt forces, and then you have your battle plan there. But you also have a second battle plan for Sundering Blow, which is another one which is pretty cool. So this is kind of fleshing out all your different battle plans. If you're doing first strike, you have 4 objectives across 4 maps, and you have your Nighthaunt territory and your Stormcast territory. Enjoy yourself with it, have a bit of fun. Sundering Blow, very much the same for battle mats, and it is literally beat each other. So as much as possible. The battle continues to the end of the 5th round, and the player who has the most units on the battlefield at the end of the battle is the winner. So it does kind of lean a bit more heavily into the Nighthaunt a little bit really there, but the Stormcast take a hell of a beating, and the Nighthaunt are a bit more squishy. Then you have Command and Control as another battle plan, so that's a 3rd battle plan for this week's magazine, which is really, really cool stuff. And with this one, 4 mats, you have 6 objectives, 3 in each territory of your Stormcast or your Nighthaunt, and the idea is that you try to make sure that you control the territory of your other players as well, so you make sure that you're trying to get over to them, and you have your Royal Battle mats as well. Really, really good stuff. This one is one of the bigger ones, so you have 4 choices from your heroes lists and 7 from your troops list, so you can get an absolute massive horde out there. Really, really cool stuff. If you're going to play one of these, let me know how it goes. Let me know how fun it was, more than anything, and if you enjoyed it. Then we also get a pull-out though, which includes Cragnos. So Cragnos, of course, being one of the newer models at the end of Empires and the Forces of Destruction in the realm of Gur. Cragnos, pretty cool unit as well. So this guy is one of the newer ones. He's, of course, a former god, and he's a destroyer, and who was imprisoned and entombed by pretty much all the pantheon of Order, and has now escaped, and is now ready to wreak a bit of havoc upon the realm of Gur. And of course, the realm of Gur, so we have a lot of information about the realm of beasts, so whether it is from Beastgrave, Twinhorn Peak, the Great Gut Fort, Carcass Dance, or Excelsis for City of Secrets. So Excelsis being the main place where all the Dawnbringer Crusades in Gur kind of venture forth from, and all the different realm gates. A fascinating map as well. It's really, really cool stuff to see this map. And if you got the newest edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, so like the Dominion box or anything like that, this is actually a pretty good little subsidy, and kind of like gives you a bit more information, and it's a bit of a look at the map as well, which is already really, really cool. You also have one of the kind of poems that are to do with Cragnos and the fact that it was long ago kind of imprisoned and entombed by the great lizards, the starter drake, and the god serpents as well. And the rise of Cragnos on the back there. So of course he rose to power in the age of myth, when gods walked the realms, and he was born in a nation known as Dons, to the rulers of a proud Drognuk people, and of course he is the last of his kind as well, which is a bit more interesting. And of course the orcs do follow him. No mention of the good old Cruel Boys, but of course they are a new faction, so they might not have any kind of mention in the magazine, but they may do still. There's still issues left, isn't there? And then of course next week we complete the Mortis Engine, because we get the base, which is the main thing, and then 79 and 80 is of course for Celestant Prime, a fantastic Stormcast model. I'm really, really looking forward to getting it. Should be really good fun to build and paint and have a bit of fun with. And that's it for this issue. So pretty simple one, pretty cool one. Lots going on in the issue, lots of more lore, lots more information, and some fantastic battle plans as well. And I expect there will be more battle plans coming and some more fantastic battle plans over the next 3 issues. Be really, really good to see. But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye now.